This episode is brought to you by AAA Tree Service, your local experts in professional tree care. Whether you need routine maintenance, emergency tree removal, or storm cleanup, AAA has you covered. Proudly serving Bucks County, Montgomery County, and the Lehigh Valley, they've earned over 45 five-star reviews for their reliable and high-quality work. From tree trimming and stump grinding to land clearing and more, AAA offers a full range of services to keep your property safe and looking its best. Get started with a free estimate by calling 215-910-0663. That's 215-910-0663, or visit www.AAATreeServicePA.com. That's www.AAATreeServicePA.com. Thank you again to AAA Tree Service for sponsoring this episode.
All right, let's lead off with the Rafael Devers trade. I didn't expect that coming.
I didn't expect that coming either. I mean, I had heard the rumblings. You know, like we had all heard.
We had all heard that he didn't want to play first base.
Right.
He didn't want to do this and that.
And I thought that there was going to be some way for them to, like, work it out. Like, some way for them to figure out how to be able to make it work with Devers, especially since they just not too long ago gave him that massive extension, that 7-year extension or 8-year extension.
Yeah,
or whatever
they gave him
it
like
was.
a $300 million contract.
Yeah, and that was what? Last year, 2 seasons ago?
23. They gave him a $300 million contract.
Yeah, so like it's weird to see him already gone, and Giants are getting a player with 5 to 6 more years of contract control.
I think like 7 to 8.
And I know they're eating like a big salary.
Yeah, they're taking on the entire contract.
On all the entire contract.
That's like $200 million they got to take on.
So that's no small thing. But like you would expect maybe for them to get a little bit better of a return, I feel like, for a player of Devers' quality.
That return is really weak. I feel like the 2 prospects they got are not even in AA. They're in A-ball, and like I think the other one is in high A. Or just regular single A.
So they're not anywhere close to the majors.
And
so is this like the thing that confuses me about this is they also got Jordan Hicks and Kyle Harrison.
They sent the Kyle Harrison down to AAA.
Okay, they sent him down to AAA.
And Hicks has a 7 ERA with a 154 whip. He's a fast pitcher. He just has no control.
But why would you include Hicks in the deal if everyone you're getting in the return is someone that's going to help you later on down the line? Like, people that aren't going to help you for the next 2 to 3 seasons. Like, it feels weird that Hicks is involved. Because in 2 to 3 seasons, I mean, Hicks
he's not going to be on the team.
Not going to be there. It's just weird that you're sitting there trading away. Like, I'm not saying Hicks is, like, bad or anything. Like, he's had some good seasons. I don't really think he should be a starting pitcher in this league. He's probably better suited as a relief pitcher. But, I don't know. It just strikes me as strange that they would trade for someone who's not even under contract for another 2 years and 3 prospects. Like, are they trying to compete this year, or
I don't know what they're doing.
Like,
they still have a good infield, it's still a good roster, but
yeah. So I don't really understand. Like, is this just a lateral move? Is this like
a Luka Doncic to the Lakers trade?
I just don't really. I understand why the Giants did it. Like,
yeah,
the Giants. Why wouldn't you do it?
Giants are competing, yeah,
but for the Red Sox, it just seems weird. Like, it's not like they're completely out of it, and you just traded away your best player. I know they have people in the minors that are, top prospects, but
yeah, they got
to trade away a proven commodity.
They have
like
Roman
that.
Anthony, Meyer, and Campbell.
Yeah, and one of those guys predominantly is going to fill the void of playing first base.
And they have Bregman at third base. Cassis is out for the rest of the season.
Right, so they need one of those players to play first. And
Devers never wanted to play first.
Yeah, but you could still have Devers be DH, like the Giants are doing.
They had him at DH. Yeah, you're not going to play him at third base with Matt Chapman.
Yeah, exactly. So it's he's going to the same situation where he's not playing in the field and he's just hitting.
I don't know if he had a bad relationship with general manager, or if it was like the manager in general, or
I feel like it may have just been like a kind of very reactionary move by the Red Sox of like a let's just get rid of this headache type of thing. But
they saved up a ton of money.
They did save a lot of money, $250 million.
But the return that they got is just feels so weak, and we saw this with the Red Sox before when they traded away Mookie Betts for practically nothing.
Right. And I don't know if like they have plans to maybe like add on another big contract, which is why they had to get rid of Devers' contract.
I was thinking they might extend the 3 prospects, Anthony, Campbell, and Meyer, for now on like cheap deals, get them, and then if they become good, you have them on cheap deals, and then use the rest of the money to maybe sign another player.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could go that route, which, I mean, we've seen teams do it before, but I feel like most of the times that we see teams take that route, it kind of like doesn't really pan out. Like,
what was the point?
Scott Kingery, you know? We gave him a multi-year contract extension before he ever
before he made his even debut.
Right. Evan White was another player from the Mariners who got a contract, an 8-year contract extension before he ever made his major league debut. Both of those players are now, well, not in the majors. Evan White lasted for another 2 years in Seattle.
Scott Kingery's with the Angels.
And got traded to, I believe, the Rangers, and then I have no idea what happened to him after that. I'm pretty sure he's not in baseball. Like, not in the majors, at least. He might be in the minors somewhere, on some minor league organization team. Or he might be playing overseas, but he's not here. And, like, the Mariners are still paying his contract. He signed that 8-year extension in, like, 2019. So they're going to be paying a dude that's not on the roster for another 2 more years. And I know that it's not a lot of money, but you're paying, like, I think Evan White says you're paying, like, $8.2 million to a guy that's not on your roster.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You can't really afford to be doing stuff like that.
What was the point of signing Alex Bregman, then, for the Red Sox? There was no point in signing Alex Bregman if you already had Devers with that giant contract at third base.
I guess. I don't know what, maybe there was something that happened in the offseason that made them think that Devers wasn't going to be able to play third base long term, potentially, which is why they went to get Bregman. But I mean he's been solid defensively at third. He's not like a liability over at third base. Like
he can make the play. So
yeah, I mean he's got a strong arm. I understand that maybe he doesn't have great necessarily range, but you don't need great range for a third baseman. Like, you got to have a strong arm. You got to be able to field the ball in front of you. You got to be able to block balls. You need to be able to have quick reaction. Now, I don't know if maybe his reaction time has like dipped potentially that the Red Sox saw, and they went, this isn't good enough for third base. You're too slow in your reactions. I don't know, but it just seems very strange, like the entire situation. Why bring in Bregman, as you said, if bringing in Bregman was going to cause you to trade Rafael Devers? Like, unless this is what they wanted, maybe they just kind of... I have no idea what they're doing up there. If this is what
they would have wanted, you think they would have traded Devers in the offseason or in spring training?
Right, when they could have gotten a lot more in return for him than what they got.
Yeah, because they got a bag of chips for him.
So... yeah, I don't really understand.
The Red Sox have done this 3 times. Mookie Betts, Chris Sale, and now Devers.
Yeah, and I guess it was just to shed salary. It was just to shed contract, but what's the need for shedding all that contract? There's got to be some other move that they're planning, that they want to make, or that they're trying to do, or something. Because, like, previously when we've seen them shed salary, it's because they also make moves after they shed salary. Now... I guess you could be right with the theory that maybe they're shedding that salary to give that money to the younger prospects. But I don't know. It just seems fishy. The entire situation just stinks. You know? Like, it's got, like, this stench. Like, something is off. Like, something is just not right about it.
We don't know what the Red Sox are doing. We don't know if they're going to sell, if they're going to...
Yeah, so, like, what does this mean for potentially Chapman? Like,
yeah.
Is he going to stay?
Like,
is he going to go?
Is Aroldis Chapman going to go to, maybe the Phillies?
I mean, I got to think he's going to go now. They just traded away Devers. Anyone could go.
If you think if you think Devers got traded for a bag of chips, and Chapman's going to get traded for that price too.
Yeah, like it seems very, very weird. The entire situation just seems none of it makes sense right now. And I don't know if it's just doesn't make sense right now because there's information that we don't know. But, I mean, trade away the best player on your team when you're sitting there telling your fans you're going for it. Just is a little...
Yeah, he hit a home run
backwards.
the same day he got traded, and they traded him.
Like, it's a little backwards for you to sit there and try to sell
to your
fan base, hey, we're going for the playoffs. We're trying to compete. We're trying to contend. And then you trade away the best player that you have.
It's not like on social media his name was being brought up in trade talks. It just happened.
Like, I had heard nothing of Devers to the Giants. Now, maybe that's just because we're not following closely the Red Sox market. Because, we're not in Boston.
Yeah, we're not in...
But, like, for a trade name that would be that big, you would think you would hear some type of media outlet reporting on at least rumors or something. Like...
Harrison was in the bullpen warming up against the Dodgers.
When he found out?
Because he was a starter.
Yeah.
And they had to start a reliever because of it.
So, yeah, I don't know what's up with this whole Devers trade situation, but... We do know one thing. It's officially opened up trade season. Trade season is officially a go.
Trade season's going to be on now, especially with the best player on the market already gone, basically.
Yeah, with him gone, that maybe... I don't even know if teams thought that he was available, though.
Yeah, I guess the Giants, just made a phone call. And they're like, we'll give you this, and that for Devers.
Because you would think with a player... of his caliber leaving the trade market, that's going to shift some teams' perspectives on how they want to attack the rest of the deadline or how they want to attack the rest of what they have planned. But, this wasn't a move that was, being talked about by people, I feel like, who were connected.
Yeah, I didn't hear a lot from Jeff Passan.
Right, or Buster Olney, or Carl Ravitch, or...
Yeah, nobody... it just came out of the blue.
Yeah, it just kind of, just... all of a sudden, it just dropped. Who was it that even broke the news?
I think it was...
it wasn't Passan.
No,
it wasn't any of them.
It wasn't Passan.
It was some, media outlet, some media outlet website, wasn't it? That, broke the news? Yeah, I don't know But with him gone, you would think that maybe that is going to potentially impact some of the other teams in their search for their players, but I don't know how this impacts it. I don't know if people now think there's more players available.
Red Sox tweeted on the day he got traded because he hit a home run. They tweeted this is gone, and as gone as in home run, but obviously the replies don't match it. So
this whole trade just leaves me scratching my head, and we'll have to see if who knows? Maybe Boston actually knows what they're doing and this works out for them. But I don't know. It seems it's akin to the Phillies being at 500 and trading Bryce Harper while telling the fan base that they're going for a championship.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's completely backwards. It's if you're going for a championship, why are you trading the best player on the team? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand that these guys make a lot more money than we do to make these decisions, but you have to be able to logically explain the decisions you make, and I don't really see any logic behind... how can you logically explain trading away Devers for what you got in return?
You can't logically explain that.
It just seems like maybe there was a problem with Red Sox and Devers, where there was some type of disconnect, and maybe they just wanted to cut the relationship. They were just done with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But
it's strange, to say the least.
By Robert Murray. That's his name, @by Robert Murray.
By Robert Murray?
Yeah, who's a writer for Fansided.
Yeah, Fansided is the place that broke the news.
Yeah, he was the one that reported the Devers trade. So.
Yes, and it's not like he's a...
Yeah, I don't really know about this guy that much.
He's not a big MLB reporter or anything like that. It's just I don't know if anyone really saw this coming. I don't know if the rest of the league even saw this coming. And I don't know if this is going to give more impetus for teams to maybe call about players they wouldn't expect to be on the block. Because I wouldn't expect Rafael Devers to be on the trading block.
Not with the way the Red Sox are playing.
Right. If anything, I would expect someone else to be on the trading block to free up a space for Devers to play. not trading away the dude that you. I don't know, man. It's like if Bryce Harper were to come back and they trade Bryce Harper because they don't want to move Otto Kemp from first base, and it's like, dude, what are you doing?
What's the point?
Like, why are you doing this? I don't know, man. This just doesn't make any sense to me. But the fact that Boston is shooting themselves in the foot, I guess, does leave it open for the Phillies to swoop in and get Chapman. So I guess I can't be like, I'm not mad about it.
They should swoop in and get Chapman now. While if the Red Sox are going to accept some cheap, crappy deal.
Yeah, like I'm not mad about it. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Take
to
that
me.
opportunity.
But like, if they're gonna do deals that don't make sense, you might as well take advantage of them.
They gotta jump on that opportunity fast.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Now, should we go back? Should we go to the Phillies, or do you want to touch on this Jalen Hurts disrespect real quick?
Yeah, I want to touch on this Jalen Hurts
disrespect. Mm-hmm. Who even is this dude?
Joe DeCamara.
Is he NBC Sports?
He's the morning guy on WIP.
Okay, and
he's an idiot. I mean, if you saw him, you'd think he's an idiot. His takes suck. I mean, he looks like a virgin.
All right, well, so
dude, he just pisses me off.
Let's get to. Now, the fact that this is the top 11...
This is his top 11
the fact that
current
it's
athletes.
11 in itself is like, dude, why are you making a top 11 list?
What kind of odd number is this?
Top 10. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, top 10.
What, top 11? What, you want to rub it in his face a little bit more? He's not number 11? Like, you just seem like a hater.
It doesn't make any sense, yeah. So he left Jalen Hurts off as his top 11.
Yeah, the fact that you made it a top 11 in general just makes it seem like you're a hater.
Go 1 to 11. Saquon is 1, Bryce is 2, Wheeler is 3, AJ is 4, Jalen Carter is 5, Lane Johnson is 6, Bond is 7th, Dickerson is 8th, Quinyon Mitchell is 9th, Mailata is 10th, and Ranger is 11th. Oh, this is bad, dude.
I would love to know what his definition is of the top athlete. What do you mean by top athlete? Do you mean top in his respective position and his respective sport? Do you mean top as in popularity? Because like some people don't mean top as in like
if
their
this was
actual
popularity, Alec Bohm and Bryson Stott would be number 1 because that's all the Phillies fangirls care about.
Plus Cooper DeJean would be on
Cooper
here too.
DeJean, yeah.
Because Cooper DeJean would probably be number 3. Like, are you kidding me? People love Cooper DeJean more than they love Zach Wheeler.
Saquon Hurts is obviously number 1. I mean, you're just gonna let the guy win a Super Bowl MVP, 2 Super Bowls with a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
And just get disrespected like that. He's easily number 1. He's on the top 3 Eagles quarterbacks of all time already.
I was gonna say I could understand him being in. If he's not number 1, being number 2 or number 3, but to have him, quote, as he says, probably somewhere in the 15 to 20 range.
Then who is above him?
Like, if you're going to give us this, then name the 4 other guys that you're going to put above him on this list. Like, if you're going to put him at 15, give me who number 12, 13, and 14 are. Because, like, who's he going to say? 12 is Cooper DeJean. All right. 13 is Kyle Schwarber.
Like that doesn't make any sense.
Like, dude, Jalen Hurts is better than basically everyone on this list.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best athlete in this city alone.
Now,
Saquon, I would put Saquon at 2. Bryce, I would put at 3. I'd move everyone down. I'd put Wheeler at 4. I don't know about Bond being 7, just because he had one good season. I don't know if Bond is like.
Yeah. I mean, it seems...
Bond is fantastic, but I don't know if Bond has proven himself to be in the likes of Bryce, and Zach, and also Saquon.
And also Ranger Suarez. I love Ranger, but like...
Yeah, Ranger's a great pitcher,
but... The dude has made 7 starts on the year. Like, what are you talking about? Jalen Hurts didn't miss a single game. Like, dude, what are you talking about?
No, Jalen Hurts did miss a game. He missed a game against Washington.
Oh, wait. He played in that game.
He played in that game.
It's just that he didn't finish the game.
He didn't finish it. I forgot.
Because
he was in the game for so short.
Hang on. He missed the week after that, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
He didn't play the week after that, but then he came back for the next week. Right? Or did he miss 2 weeks?
No, because they didn't play. He didn't play the last 2 weeks of the season.
Okay, so he missed the
they
last
played
2
the
weeks. Yeah.
Giants and shit. So they didn't.
Oh yeah,
they didn't
so
need them.
they didn't need him to play.
Yeah, they didn't need him.
So he basically missed one game last year.
Basically.
All right, he missed one game. Ranger Suarez has missed an entire month and a half. I'm not trying to be
honestly
mean to anyone here.
Honestly, even with his injuries, I gotta put Joel Embiid on there. I mean, the dude won a freaking MVP, even though the process never turned out to what it be. He's the reason Sixers fans started.
If this is
caring
supposed
about
to
the team
be
again.
right now,
then
I would leave him off. If
Leave
it's
him off.
supposed to be right now.
If we're talking about all time, he's on there.
Yeah, if we're talking about just over the past 10 years or 5 years, he's definitely in here. But for right now, I don't think you can say that he's
just because with how many games he's
top
missed.
11 with the fact that he's played 23 games in 365 days.
Just doesn't have enough playing time.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. He got to show what he's capable of, and we saw that he won MVP.
I mean, he should have won MVP probably twice.
Yeah, but
I think that first year that
Jokic won,
or Jokic's second MVP should have been Joel's first MVP season. Joel should have had back-to-back. He should have had that MVP season and then followed it up with his real MVP season. But
I don't think Quinyon Mitchell should be on this list.
I don't really think that Quinyon... this has to be just recency. This has to just be right now, this list. It's not taking in the full player's body of work. This has to just be taking in recency bias. Just this past season, what have you done? Because, I mean, how do you leave a name like Kyle Schwarber off of this list? How do you not have Kyle Schwarber on here, but you have Quinyon Mitchell on here? How do you have Ranger Suarez on here, but not Kyle Schwarber? This list...
Yeah, there's so much better athletes.
They
can't even put Tyrese on there.
I mean, he also had...
He had injuries, but...
His injuries throughout the year.
He's one of the better players on the Sixers, if not the best.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things about this list that I feel don't
I don't know. I gotta make a list. If we're doing current, it's got to be Hurts, Barkley, Bryce, Zach. Yeah, the offensive line, Lane Johnson, Mailata, they got to be on there. Kyle Schwarber's got to be on there. If we're doing
AJ should be on there as well.
Yeah, AJ should be on there, yep. But if we're doing top 11 in the past 5-10 years.
I mean, if this is the case, why isn't Matvei Michkov on there?
Yeah, dude's going to win Rookie of the Year, so
Matvei Michkov had a freaking phenomenal, incredible season. Better than what Ranger Suarez is having
if we're
now.
going to put top 10 or 11 over the past 5-10 years, you still go Bryce, Wheeler, Jason Kelsey,
probably A.J. Brown,
Brandon Graham, Hurts. Honestly, I'd put Aaron Nola on there too.
Yeah, Nola would be on there.
Yep. Joel. Who are we forgetting? I know we're forgetting someone.
Well, it's
Lane
hard.
Johnson.
It's hard to, because from 5 years ago, a lot of people aren't here anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So it's hard to do.
They're either retired or they're left. Yeah.
So it's hard to sit here and say another I can't sit here and say Reese Hoskins while he's on Milwaukee. Even though he was a huge part of the beginning stages of this team.
Yeah.
I can't say him on here for the past 5 years when he's not even here anymore.
He was one of the last people of that dog days to be on that World Series team.
Right, so
him and Zach Eflin.
Over the past 5 to 10 years, you would think that Reese Hoskins would be a name that would be up here, but I don't know if you can say that when he's no longer here, But this is just complete Jalen Hurts disrespect. The dude won the Super Bowl. He got back to the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, which doesn't happen. He got to a Super Bowl, lost, got back, and then won.
And he put on a fantastic performance, even though that they lost.
He's only the 3rd quarterback in Super Bowl history to ever go there, lose, and then go back and win. Only 2 other quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have done that.
And Mahomes and Brady.
So, I don't want to hear... dude, the dude has done absolutely incredible things. And if you want to sit here and hold the fact that he has a great team around him, you want to make it so that that's his fault, or you want to somehow depreciate his value because he has a good team around him, name me a time that Kansas City went to the Super Bowl where they didn't have a good team. Name me any team that went to the Super Bowl that didn't have a supporting cast around him.
Tom Brady. He had Gronkowski, Julian Edelman.
Yeah. I mean, at all stages
Mahomes
of his career,
had Tyreek Hill and
he had
Travis Kelce.
players to give it to. Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Rob Gronkowski, Danny Amendola. Like, he always had people that were his security blankets or people that he could depend on or people that were the top of their, positions at the time. I understand that he didn't always, Jalen doesn't always make everyone else around him better, I guess, but do you really need him to make everyone around them better if they're all great? Like, how much do you want him to elevate their game in order for you to say he's a good quarterback? Like, if there are some people who are amazing, they don't need a quarterback to elevate their game. They're just amazing. Like, they don't need any elevate. Wes Welker was someone that needed elevation from his quarterback.
Because he had Brady.
Right.
Dude had the freaking best quarterback of all time.
But also, he was small. He wasn't really able to create a ton of separation between him and whoever was covering him. So he needed someone like Brady that could give that strong, accurate, tight window pass in order for him to be feasible as a very good player in this league, which he was for a very long time. But just because Hurts doesn't have that scrappy player that needs Hurts to make him better for him to be good doesn't mean that Hurts is devalued as a player. Like, when has any team gone to a Super Bowl with bad talent? Please, someone come in the comments and tell me. One of you Jalen Hurts haters, please come in the comments and tell me when any team went to the Super Bowl with zero help. Please. Because every single team that goes to the Super Bowl, guess what? It's a pretty good freaking team.
They have good Pro Bowl, All-Pro starters.
Yeah, that's why they're in the Super Bowl. So if you're going to sit there and say, oh, he only won the Super Bowl because his team was good. Dude, what are you talking about?
It's not like...
That's the whole purpose.
Dude, it's not like the Eagles scraped their way to an 8-8 record and clinched the playoffs on the last day and dog fought their way to the Super Bowl.
Like, what do you want Jalen to do? Throw the ball to himself and catch it and run it into the end zone?
What
more do you want the dude to do?
Do you want him to kick field goals, return the kick returns?
Yeah, you want him to start pressuring the quarterback. You want him on the line. You want him playing cornerback.
You want him serving beer?
What else do you need this man to do? He's played his two best games in the biggest stage of all in his career, in the Super Bowl.
Art Museum steps thinking he's Rocky.
He outplayed, statistically, the greatest quarterback of our generation. Well, my generation is still Tom Brady, but your generation is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, mine is
He
Mahomes.
outplayed the greatest quarterback of the generation twice in the Super Bowl, in the biggest game that you can outplay someone in.
The second one wasn't even like...
It wasn't even close.
It was just domination.
So, I don't want to hear it. All this BS of Jalen Hurts not being good enough. It's all people that had that original take when he was first drafted, and they can't possibly...
They keep holding their grudge over it.
Right. And it's the fact that people just can't accept the fact that they can be wrong about things.
The second Super Bowl is like if I go on a Call of Duty and play domination, I capture all the zones, and the guy doesn't get anything. That's how much of a game it was.
But, if we're going to sit here and hold the fact that good players have good players around them, then what? Bryce Harper's not an MVP? Because he had great players around him on that team when he won the MVP that year?
Those players don't help him.
Your logic is...
He is the player that...
ridiculous.
You as the player, he delivered the production he needed to do.
Yeah, but you can't deliver that production if you don't have the team getting on base in order for you to make that production. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to sit there and say, oh, he's only good because of his team, then why do we all care about RBIs? Because that's a stat that's all based upon your team. It's completely based upon your team.
You got to get guys on base to get RBIs.
Exactly. That's not the fault of the dude that's at the plate. You want him to hit a home run every single time?
That's the fault of the dudes that are...
in front of him.
In front of him. That need to get to first base,
exactly.
Second base.
So what? If Bryce didn't have, 100 RBIs in a season, now he's a horrible player. He's just he doesn't deserve to be top 10 anymore. Sometimes it's out of the player's realm of what they can do to impact the game. Now, Jalen Hurts doesn't have any problem impacting the game, but if you have Saquon Barkley, who's got 2,000 rushing yards, why would you do anything else other than hand the ball to freaking Saquon Barkley? Why? For anyone that wants to come and say, oh, they had the 29th ranked passing. Okay, great. They didn't need to pass the freaking ball.
They could have just ran the ball every single play of the game and Saquon would have scored.
Like, let me sit here and ask you this question, whoever's going to come in the comments and say this to me. Would you rather hand the ball to Saquon and have him run for about 7 yards before he even gets touched by anyone? Because that's how good this freaking offensive line is. Where he's able to get to 5, 6, 7 yards before he's even touched by anyone on the defense. So, you're telling me you'd rather throw the ball and risk potential interceptions, takeaways, miscommunications. Like, you do realize wide receivers have option routes, and these routes happen a lot. And if the quarterback and the wide receiver are not on the same page on what the option is, that's an interception. You do realize that completely gets removed when you just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. Like, you mitigate all the risks of that happening if you just hand the ball off. So, like, why wouldn't you just hand off the ball? It seems like the completely logical explanation, and the logical thing to do is, hey, we got a guy back there that's going to literally just win us the game if we continue to give him the ball. So why would you sit here and say, oh, that's Jalen Hurts' fault? Jalen Hurts is bad because Saquon Barkley is the greatest running back of the season.
Because you don't need to throw the freaking ball if you have a second coming of Adrian Peterson at running back.
Yeah, like, people hold things against him, and it's like, what do you want him to do about it? Do you want him to win football games, or do you want him to put up big numbers? What do you want him to do?
Win games.
You want him to win football games. If that means, hey, I'm handing the ball to Saquon Barkley, that's what he's going to freaking do.
He throws 5 picks, but he wins? All right, he wins.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like, people get so bent out of shape with, like, the
stats,
the statistics, and maybe his, watching him and the eye test, he doesn't have the same eye-popping capability as Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Well, he doesn't need to have that eye-popping talent. You know why Josh Allen needed to have that eye-popping MVP caliber season he just had? Because he had zero help. And look where that got him. Eliminated from the playoffs. So if you want Jalen to put up numbers like Josh Allen, you're going to have no Super Bowls.
No Super Bowls.
Is that really what the people want?
This city's going to crumble. They're all going to blame Jalen Hurts and the coach if that happens.
So, like, I don't want to hear this from anyone because you need players around you if you're going to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. No team ever won the Super Bowl with a bottom 20 offense, okay? That doesn't happen. You need to have good players around you. You need to have a top 10 and a top 10 in offense and defense if you're going to win the Super Bowl.
That's just how football works.
Like, It's not possible to go to the Super Bowl and win it if you aren't good on both sides of the ball. So, and, like, it's not just one player that makes that side of the ball good. Like, if it was just Saquon Barkley, that wouldn't make this team probably
Super Bowl contenders.
But the fact that it's Barkley and Jalen Hurts. Because, look, you had Barkley up there with Daniel Jones, and what the frick happened?
They couldn't do anything. They had no line. They had no receivers.
They couldn't win more than 7 games in a freaking season.
They had no defense.
So, I don't want to hear all this, Jalen Hurts hate. Like, the dude has won the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 in 3 years. Can we just move on from the fact that, you guys were wrong? Just fucking take it on the chin.
Joe DeCamera's an idiot. This is why I don't listen to WIP except listening to Phillies and Eagles games, because I listen to special ed idiots like him.
Like, dude, just take it on the chin that you were wrong. It's okay to be wrong. I've said things on this show that haven't panned out. I can sit here and say that I was wrong. It's not that big of a deal. We're sports people. Guess what? We didn't go to MIT. We're going to get shit wrong.
It's going to happen.
It's not like we're talking about equations and things that are, proven, there's only one outcome.
Proven facts.
Right. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about things that are all relative with all speculation
with
and
all our teams.
Circumstances or surrounding it. It's not, no one out here is, going to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, I'm a rocket scientist because I just get everything right with my sports takes. No.
That doesn't work like that.
It doesn't.
You're a rocket scientist because you went to school and got a master's degree.
Right. So, all these people that are, afraid to be wrong with their sports takes because they don't want to be seen as an idiot. You're not going to be seen as an idiot. You got something wrong. who cares? Smart people get shit wrong all the time.
Unless you're Joe DeCamera.
So, dude, there's a lot of...
And his outfits suck, too. Like, he wears some stupid Phillies overalls, dude. Oh, my God.
I don't even like listening to the pregame for, like, on WIP for, like, the Phillies if I'm, like, driving around in the car and they're gonna come on. I'll wait up until, like, first pitch of the game and then I'll put it on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even listen to
Fransky
Rob
is
Ellis
fine.
and...
It's Greg Murphy.
No, the guys that do the pregame show.
Oh, Greg Murphy does, like, the...
Yeah, he does the...
On deck something.
Yeah, and Larry Anderson is the color commentator.
Yeah.
But,
Greg Murphy's fine.
Yeah. But I think Rob Ellis does the leading off, which is like the hour before.
Yeah.
And then the on deck is like the 30 minutes before.
On deck is 30 minutes. Yeah.
But not that I have like a huge problem with like Rob Ellis or anything, but it's just like I feel like they kind of fuel the turmoil when it comes to how fans view the sports teams, where they don't do anything to quell it. They just like add fuel to the fire. Just keep it burning. Let's just keep it burning. Everything's gonna burn.
That's how they get calls though. So
exactly, because people are gonna sit there and call when they're angry over
and you need to be engaging
in a good movie.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the Phillies, how are we feeling about the most recent performances?
I'm feeling a lot
better than you were last week.
Feeling a lot better than last week, but I mean, like, look at what I said last week. I said that this team was going nowhere. This team had infixable problems, and then they just reel off what?
They reel off 5 out of 6 wins against really good teams.
Exactly. So, like,
sweeping out the Blue Jays.
It happens. We're not going to be right all the time.
Sweeping the Blue Jays after just that disaster in Toronto.
Like, I now have to sit here and backtrack everything that I basically said last week because...
Yeah, teams go through a slump.
Yeah, because people now have actually stepped up and showed that, hey, they can actually play. Like
they made roster moves like DFAing Carlos Hernandez.
Yes, and they've gotten rid of a lot of baggage over the past 3 weeks. They've DFA'd Ruiz, Hernandez.
All I know is that they're designating for assignment the train wreck of this bullpen. So we got to get back on track with still fixing the bullpen. And I'm hoping they can somehow pull a deal off for Chapman.
Now, I've seen a lot of stuff going around about people saying that Bryce should go back to the outfield.
I don't like that.
I don't like that one bit. Guys, I love Otto Kemp as much as all y'all do, as you clearly know. But the answer is not to move the guy with a hurt wrist to the outfield.
Well, especially when you have to throw the ball like insanely far.
Yeah, like that's not the answer.
That's gonna mess up his wrist even more.
Like, you don't want him putting any unnecessary strain on that wrist, especially because this is something he's been dealing with since last season. You know, this is the same wrist injury with the inflammation that he had to go onto the IL last year. He's not in the space, or he's not in the like health to play right field every day or to play the outfield every day.
And that's how he ended up as a DH.
Exactly. And so you have to stick him back at first base. I understand Otto Kemp has been good, but it's been 10 days. Like,
he's a fine first baseman. Bryce,
exactly. And Bryce is much better player than Otto Kemp is, okay? Let's not act like obviously. Otto Kemp is the savior, and we need to move everything around for Otto Kemp.
He's looked good. He's looked good, but
yeah, but like he's not.
Obviously, you're going to choose Bryce over him.
Exactly. Like he's not some guy that you're going to move everyone else around into certain positions to get him playing time. If anything, he's going to move to a different position to get playing time. You're not going to mess up everyone else.
Yeah, he could play left field. He could play wherever.
Yeah,
he's a utility man.
Sure that he'll probably get a couple of appearances in left. He'll probably be able to give Stott a spell here and there at second base. He's not going to play shortstop for you, but
he's not going to play shortstop or center field, or
he's not going to play short or center field. But He can give Alec Boehm a day off. He can give Bryson Stott a day off. He can give Harper a day off. He can give Cassie a day off.
Or he could DH.
He could, right. Like, so there's a lot of other spots that he's going to be able to continue to make an impact on this team. But, like, all of the people that say, like, move Bryce to the outfield so he can be the everyday first baseman, like, that's not the answer. Like, when I was talking about him being called up, I was talking about him being called up and he's going to make an impact, a positive impact, not he's going to lead the team to greatness. Like, that's not what he's going to do.
All he needs to do is just...
It's unfair to put that unrealistic expectation on him.
All he needs to do is just play fine.
Right.
We're not throwing...
play your
heavy
role.
Expectations on him.
Exactly.
It's not like Andrew Painter getting called up.
I mean, this guy doesn't need to be the world beater where he needs to, like, if you put him at first base and you make Bryce Harper move his position, you're basically declaring Otto Kemp as the world beater.
And then once Otto Kemp goes through a slump, they're all going to complain that Bryce should be back at first base.
Right. And you can't be switching everyone around, doing all this crazy stuff. Like, you need to keep Bryce where he's at, and Kemp should stay on the roster, obviously. Wilson should probably be the guy that gets DFA'd.
Yeah, I think Weston Wilson does not stay long here in Philadelphia. So
now, does he have another option on his contract, or is this his last?
This is his last.
So he would have to get DFA'd.
He would have to get DFA'd,
okay.
Yeah.
So, with the way he's played, though, he might DFA and then not get picked up by another team, potentially.
Then he'll just clear waivers and go back to
right,
AAA.
and go back to AAA, and where he might start to, figure it out again, and then maybe, who knows what happens. But at least at this point right now, do you think that a major league team is pining for Weston Wilson to, like, get DFA'd?
No team is pining for him, but, like, some team might pick him up for a platoon piece or utility man. I mean, they did it with Cody Clemens, so...
Yeah, but also that's at the beginning of the season. We're much further into the season now. Colorado's not going to pick up him to play for... Like, none of the bad teams are going to pick up someone that's on waivers from another team because what's the point?
Like Hernandez just got picked up by the Tigers. Ruiz just got picked up by the Braves.
Right, they're going to get picked up by teams that need help that are contenders for the playoffs. They're not going to get picked up by bad teams. And
someone that can fill the void for a couple of games.
Right. Weston Wilson has not really shown enough, I feel like, this season to get picked up by a team like Toronto or a team like Tampa Bay or the Yankees. Or, the Padres, the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, someone that's got to fill like a gaping hole. Like
yeah,
if someone goes on the injured list for a couple of days.
Yeah, none of those teams really need to be adding someone that has a under 200 batting average, and you're not gonna add him to a bad team because, like, if you have a bad team, then you might as well just be.
There's no point in adding him.
Right, because I think that when you pick someone up off waivers, you take their entire contract, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're taking on money.
If it's only league minimum, you're still paying this guy.
You're
for
still
no point.
Right, and for what? For you to just have an extra body there? Like, at that point, why don't you just call up someone from the minors and see what they can do, get them acclimated to the majors quicker?
You're not going to make the playoffs.
Exactly.
You call someone up from the minors, maybe give him a chance.
I feel like he might actually clear waivers because he's batting what, like 150 something? Like, he's not been good at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if they DFA him and he clears.
His unwatchable defense in left field.
Yeah, like
diving for a ball like 40 feet away from him.
Yeah, so people that like Weston Wilson, I don't really think he's gonna go anywhere. Like, I don't think he's gonna go to another organization. I think he's just gonna go down to Lehigh. I really don't think he's going to get back down to Lehigh. I don't think he's going to get picked up by anyone, dude.
We're talking about a 194 average with a 587 OPS. Like,
one home run.
Yeah, one home run.
Yeah, no one's going to sit there and claim him off waivers. He's given you virtually next to nothing in production-wise.
Hey, I was at his MLB debut and he hit a home run, so...
Yeah, I mean, that happens, though, where players, they come up, they have a good couple of weeks. They have their cup of coffee, and then once the league is able to adjust to them, they can't adjust back, and then they fall out. That game he hit his first
home run at. Michael Lorenzen threw a no-hitter. Because I was there.
That was that same exact game.
He threw a no-hitter at that game.
Where's Lorenzen now?
I think he's with the Royals or something.
With the Royals?
Yeah.
My goodness.
I remember we got the one game I had tickets for got like rained out, and they're like, pick out this game for free. So I was like, all right, we'll just pick out this game. We go up there, we're like the 400s, and we didn't know there was going to be a no-hitter.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
So yeah, I have like a commemorative ticket.
Dude, that's awesome.
I know, it's sick.
But yeah, I don't think Weston Wilson's going to get picked up by anyone. So I don't really think we have to worry.
If he clears waivers, it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter.
But Otto Kemp, I think, should stay up, even though he's been basically just smacking singles for the most part.
He's getting on base.
He's getting on base, and he's having good at-bats. He's seeing a lot of pitches. He is... I understand he's not getting a lot of walks or anything like that, but it's not like he doesn't look overmatched. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't had a lot of, like, at-bats where he's like, 1, 2, 3, yep, all right, you're out of there, Otto. Like, he's been able to, like, stay in every at-bat. Yeah, like...
You know who's been able to do that as well? Freaking Bryson Stott. He works like a 7, 8 pitch at-bat, then flies out, or pops out, or
I know,
out.
there's something up with his swing right now.
I don't know, yeah.
Like, for him, it has to be his swing, because he's fouling off a lot of balls, and you would expect that if it was a timing issue, he would have more hits than what he does. Because, I mean, eventually when you foul off 4 or 5 pitches in an at-bat, you get your timing right. The fact that he's fouling off 4, 5, 6 pitches in an at-bat and still not getting the results leads me to believe there's something up with his swing. So, I don't know if he's uppercutting, he's pressing because he feels like he needs to step up for the fact that other people haven't. So he's trying to tear the cover off the ball. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's unusual.
They got to get it worked out.
To see someone...
Like what they did with Luzardo, because they found out he was tipping his pitches.
But, like, it's very unusual to see someone sit there and be able to have long at-bats and then not get anything out of it.
Not even not a walk, not a
Exactly.
single.
Like, so... That it has to be something mechanically with his swing, whether there's like a hitch in it or he's like uppercutting
on like an off day or something. They got to figure out what the problem is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but they gotta. There has to be something that they can see on tape that they're gonna be able to figure it out. Like, I don't know if some players it could be like their foot, their front foot, like
it's not positioned right.
Yeah,
on the
like
plate
something has happened with their front foot where like they no longer feel comfortable in the batting stance that they used to have, you know? And, like, they start to try to do all these other things, and they break away from what got them up here, and then it's like, how do I get back to that? It's just, it's so strange. Like, 2 years ago, this guy was, what, 282, 290 hitter?
20 home runs?
Like, yeah, and, like, he had the good start to this season, which made me think, all right, maybe last year was just the wrist injury that he was talking about. Now it's healthy. You know, he got moved up to the leadoff spot. He had a really good 2 weeks, and then he's just, I don't know what happened. He just has fallen apart.
Yeah, fallen apart.
And, like, it's not like he's having bad defensive plays that are leaking into his offensive game, because his defense is still good.
It's just his offense.
Yeah, it's just his offense. So he's not letting it, like, it seems like it's not mental. You know what I mean? If it was mental, you would think that there would be more things wrong with his game. He would be making
more errors.
Right.
He would be striking out on 3 pitches.
Like, it's got to be something mechanical. And if that's the case, like, why is it taking so long to figure it out what it is?
Because he's been in the leadoff spot for quite some time.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's been having this bad stretch for, like, an entire month now, basically. And you've had off days throughout the month. I don't know if he's been working with different people on off days. Like, because you got to do something. And, like, the way he's playing right now, like, he's someone that needs to turn it around, or he's going to be next on the chopping block to go down to the minors or to get traded.
Yeah, because I don't think he has any options, so.
So, like, he's got to figure out what is going on with himself. I don't think it's anything like he needs a change of scenery. People love him here. Like, it's nothing that has to do with Philadelphia. It's nothing that has to do with the ballpark. It's nothing that has to do with, like, his mental, it seems. It's just strictly his results at the plate. Like, and you would expect him to, like, break out of this slump because he's shown that he's, like, a pretty decent hitter. Like,
we
overall,
know that he can hit for contact, he can hit for power, he has speed.
We know he's not a bad hitter, like, which is what makes this so confusing. Is like he is so much better than what he is playing like right now, and it doesn't seem like he's getting in his head. He doesn't seem like he's detached himself from the rest of the team. Like, I see him talking to the rest of the team in the dugout. Like, sometimes with Alec Boehm, you see him go through a slump. You see him go off to the side by himself, not talking to anyone. Like, it doesn't seem like Bryson Stott's that way. He's still talking to people, having a good time. So it's really strange that, like, he's going through this prolonged slump right now, and the only part that it seems to be affecting is his hitting. Usually when you get into slumps like that, it starts to lead into a whole bunch of other stuff. But for him, it's just his hitting.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
I don't think we've never seen this.
Like, I mean, when you see Boehm go through struggles at the plate, you usually see him start to mess up in the field a little bit.
In the field, yeah.
You'll see him not talking to the teammates as much. You'll see the frustration build. When do you ever see frustration build on Bryson Stott?
I've never seen Bryson Stott slam his bat like a little girl.
I've seen him do it a couple of times, but like
he doesn't do it.
It doesn't stick out in my mind.
As the rate of Alec Boehm.
Yeah, like it's not like when I think of Bryson Stott and I think of him struggling, I don't think of him throwing a temper tantrum.
That's not something he would do.
Right, and I don't know. He needs to maybe he needs to whatever happened to Brandon Marsh needs to happen to Bryson Stott, because Brandon Marsh, since he came back, has been fantastic.
Yeah, and he definitely deserves either the starting left fielder or the starting center fielder, because, we're not going to be able to win ball games if we have Rojas batting in the 9th spot. He's he's going to be the last outfielder in the pecking order.
Yeah, I mean, one of the nice things, though, is that since Kemp has come up and Marsh has been hitting ever since he came back from the injured list. But since Kemp came up, Kepler's been hitting the ball too.
Yeah, he hit that
he's had
game-winning home run on Saturday.
I think he's had two or three home runs.
And then
the past 2 weeks.
He hit a home run yesterday.
He hit one yesterday. He had the game winner in the
Toronto.
8th inning, and then I think he had another one
on Father's Day
with Chicago. Didn't he have a home run in the Chicago series?
He might have.
So he's turned it around. Since Kemp got called up, he's been doing well. And the nice thing is that I haven't seen a lot of Johan Rojas over this winning streak.
Yeah, only as maybe like a defensive substitute.
Yeah, I think I've seen him
runner
once as a defensive sub and once to come in that one lopsided game where it was like the game was already over.
Yeah, but that's a lopsided
and
game.
They just were throwing Johan Rojas in to get some at-bats.
That was on
some
Father's
action.
Day.
Yeah.
So.
But other than that, I haven't seen him at all, which leads me to believe that he's probably just kind of been relegated to the last outfielder at this point.
The bench.
He's been relegated to you're the defensive substitute outfielder, where let's say it's 3-2 game, 9th inning, you might consider taking Castellanos out, moving Marsh or Kepler to right, and then putting Rojas in center for the last inning to really make sure that you shore up the win or something. But he doesn't really seem like he's going to be someone used in really any other situation other than that.
Because he can't bat.
And I mean, if you have Kemp up here who's going to be able to play corner outfield, then you have fixed the platoon left field spot. And then at that point, you can have Marsh and Kepler audition for who's going to
600 OPS
be every day. Because Marsh, I feel like, has the better profile against right-handed pitching, but I feel like Kepler is the better overall hitter. So I don't know if that means Kepler is going to start to be the everyday, and then Marsh will be the platoon guy, or if it's going to be vice versa, where because Marsh is hitting against righties so well right now, they're going to trust him a little bit more against left-handers. But the way they're playing right now, I feel like you could throw them both out.
Are they still going to trade for a right-handed bat For the outfield, you still thinking of a
I think they
trade?
still need to. I think that they still need more than what they have. Are you in agreement there?
Yeah, and I heard they were looking at Lubob from the White Sox. Luis Robert.
Okay,
And
I
they
was
call
like
him
Lubob.
They call him Lubob.
Shows that I don't follow Chicago. But, I mean...
He's not batting the greatest.
I wouldn't be, like...
But
you probably wouldn't have to give up a lot for him.
Exactly. Like, he's going to be cheap. And the White Sox decided not to sell on him when he had value. So now he doesn't have that much value. You're not going to get a lot of, players back for him for a guy that's hitting 194 with a 590 OPS.
Where does he play?
Center field. Center field and DH.
And DH? Okay.
So you could put him in center field. You could put Marsh in left.
Now, I really don't want him here. I mean, just looking, I understand that people think that a change of scenery might be good for him and that he's playing on a bad team. So, like, he's got no motivation to, like, get up to play. But you can't sell me on 194, 6 home runs, 28 RBIs, 590 OPS, and saying we're trading for this guy because he's going to add to our team. Like,
if he does add to the team, then perfect. But if he doesn't add to the team, then
it's like if he doesn't add to the team, then you were just blind to the facts that were literally right in front of your face.
You can't just you just gave up 2 players basically for free.
Yeah. So, and I'd rather have them go after Taylor Ward from the Angels.
Taylor Ward.
Now,
so he can play left field.
He can play left and right. So he's not going to fix center field, but he is a right-handed power bat. So that does fix the right-handed power bat issue that you clearly have, because the guy who bats right-handed, who has the most home runs, I think, in this lineup right now, is Castellanos. And he has 8.
Yeah, Castellanos doesn't have a lot. He just hit a grand slam.
Like, we're halfway through the year. He's at 8.
He's at 7.
7. So that means he's on pace for 14. And that's going to be your biggest right-handed power bat. Like, the guy that is your right-handed power. That's who you're getting the most out of from the right-hand side.
Trey's at 8. Alec Boehm is at...
Boehm's at what, 5?
Boehm's at 7.
7 as well?
So these are your right-handed bats, and I think JT's not at I think JT's at 5.
Yeah, JT is not up there at all.
Yeah, JT's at 5.
The other guys that are hitting the home runs are all left-handers.
Yeah, Schwarber's got 20. Harper's got
Kepler's
8.
even come alive a little bit.
Kepler.
He's left-handed. Like, you need a right-handed power, like legitimate right-handed power, not just someone like that's going to hit you 15 to 20 home runs. You need a right-handed power
someone
that's going to get you 30,
25 to 30.
It's going to get you 35. Yeah, like, so Taylor Ward has 18 already, so he's on pace to get close to 40. Like, right now he's on pace for 36. Which is significantly more than what you're going to get out of anyone else.
Significantly better than what you're going to get from Robert or whatever. So,
and he does have a 211 batting average, which isn't that much higher than Taylor Ward's. But which isn't that much higher than Luis Roberts. But he does have 47 RBIs. So... And his OPS...
He's driving runners in.
His OPS is 741, which is a whole 200 points higher than Luis Robert.
Yeah, and a whole 200 points higher than Rojas.
Right, and so he's doing damage. Even when he's not... Like, even when there's people not on base, he's still hitting doubles. He's still getting himself in scoring position. He's driving people in. He's got almost 50 RBIs already on a bad team. And plus, it's probably not going to cost you a lot to get Taylor Ward. He has below average defense. He's on the last year of his contract. He's 31. You
shouldn't be able to get him for that. Yeah, for that expensive.
Like, you're probably not going to have to
give up. He's only a rental player basically.
Right. You're not going to have to give up someone crazy in order to get him, most likely. And honestly, I think that's probably the best. Like, you need to try to find players that aren't going to cost you the entire farm. I understand that you have people in the farm that you can trade, and that's what some of them are there for. But I still am of the belief that I don't want to give up any of our top 5.
Yeah, well, these deals could definitely change now. Just the way we've seen Devers traded.
Yeah, so
it's going to be really different with the way these players get traded. So
I mean, who's to say that you couldn't potentially with the Angels? Who's to say that the Angels wouldn't take on Rojas?
the Giants traded their number 4 prospect for Devers. That was their highest ranked prospect they traded. They still got to keep number 1, 2, and 3. You'd think they would be going for Devers. But
Yeah, so I mean, you would think that they'd be able to get a deal done for Taylor Ward and
Like,
probably not have too much that leaves the organization.
they were
for
able to
it.
keep Luciano, Eldridge.
Like, what did they give up for Austin Hayes last year? You're probably gonna have to give up less.
They gave up for Austin Hayes, I think, Stranthony.
Right, and that was it though, right? It was
Yeah,
just Sir
I think
Anthony.
I think
it was
that
just
was
a
it, yeah.
straight up trade.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to probably
Player
give
for
up
player.
less for Taylor Ward.
Just maybe a player and a prospect.
Yeah, so like I don't really think that he's someone that's gonna cost you anything crazy. You can keep most of the young players that you still have, and he's definitely gonna add impact to your lineup. And I would expect if you are able to sandwich him between Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, he's gonna get a lot more pitches to hit and is probably going to have a better batting average, a little bit higher than 211. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
You get stuck in between Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, you're going to see a lot of pitches to hit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that he's definitely a player that could impact greatly from him coming over, and I don't think it would cost you too much. Only thing is, I have no idea where the guy would play. No idea if he's...
Left field, DH.
No clue.
Right field, who knows, yeah. If he's
'Cause
going to have fielding like Castellanos.
Yeah, he's basically another Castellanos. He's a better version of Nick Castellanos, basically. I don't want to say better version, but he's a more powerful version of Nick Castellanos. But, yeah, man, it's just...
I don't know how he's going to be. You can't use him at DH. Can't use him in... You could maybe use him in left field. But if he's going to have the same defense as Castellanos, then that's like that.
Yeah.
You're going to want someone with defense.
So...
You're not going to play Castellanos or Ward in center field.
No.
You're not going to play any of them in center field.
No. So, that's my only thing with Ward. My only thing with Ward is, like, you're going to have to move... He's going to play every day, Ward. Which means that Kepler is going to be a...
Kepler's going to be bench spot or
$12 million bench guy or platoon
or cut. Like
now, I'm not entirely sure of his splits, so I don't know how he is against right-handers versus left-handers. I don't know if against righties he's not that great, so that Kepler could continue to play against righties and then Ward would play against lefties. But do you really want to?
Well, if he's got a 211 batting average.
Right, which makes me think that maybe
80 strikeouts to 23 walks, 195 versus left, 213 versus right. So I mean, it's not really like a.
It's basically the same.
Basically the same, yeah.
So yeah, I just don't know where he would play, but there's not really a whole lot of options out there for a right-handed power bat. When you really take a look around the league. Mm-hmm. There's really not a lot of options out there.
The only thing I have with Robert is that he's going to play better defense. I mean, he's going to have defense and speed. I'd take that with a little bit of pop over Rojas. So.
Right. So
and they have him they'll have him under control
for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not completely against having Robert here, but
I would be fine with having Robert here. So.
I would personally rather see Ward. I just don't know where the hell he would play.
Yeah, so I'm thinking too.
But speaking of trades and stuff, with the bullpen, I did find another potential target for the bullpen. And we're going to see him probably next series because they play, in 4 series against the Reds.
4 series, okay.
Taylor Rogers.
Taylor Rogers, the lefty.
That's
Tyler's brother. Cincinnati, you said?
Yep. So he's on the last year of his deal. He's got a sub-3 ERA, 1.2 whip. He doesn't really strike too many guys out, but he's got 21 strikeouts over 22 innings. And he forces a lot of weak contact. The only problem with that is the Phillies don't really have great defense to be able to play to that strength.
If you have a weak ground ball towards third, it's going to be a tough play for Alec Bohm.
Right. So that's the problem with him, the fact that he just doesn't... He's one of those guys where he's not going to strike you out. He's going to force you to hit balls pretty weakly and the defense to make plays behind him. So whether or not that really transitions to how this team is set up, I'm not entirely sure. But with his numbers and with his experience in this league, he's been in the league for 9 years?
Yeah, 10
You'd expect
years.
him to be able to figure it out a little bit, even if he has to start striking people out more. So I would like to see someone like him come in. Obviously, we have Ryan Helsley. We've talked about him
talked
before.
about Ryan Helsley a lot, and we've talked about Chapman.
Yep, we've talked about Chapman. We don't really need to touch base on him. Bullpen actually hasn't been too bad.
Yeah, the
recently.
bullpen's been good recently. Ryan Kirkland got his first save against the Marlins last night, so...
I will say Strom's looked a little flat, though.
I feel like
over the
Strom is
past week.
the weak point of this bullpen now.
I don't know if maybe he's just getting in his head or maybe he's getting a lot of work or something, but he seems to be very flat with his pitches right now.
They're just...
Not a lot of movement, not a lot of depth.
Just running over the play, basically.
Yeah, so maybe that's just something to do with how he's holding the ball, or I don't know. But not like it's too big of a deal. I mean, he only gave up 1 run, and I don't think I say this, but he hasn't given up more than 1 run in the past 3 or 4 starts. It's just I've noticed he's given up 1 run in 3 starts, and I'm not 3 starts, in 3 appearances, and I'm hang on here, what's going on with Strom? But I mean, that's something that probably could be easily fixable. It's not like he's getting torched when he goes out there. It's
yeah, exactly.
He's not getting blown up.
He's only given up 1 run,
Yeah,
2 runs.
so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but something to keep an eye out for.